Today we're hanging out with our friend Jake from JJohnsonCollectibles, a huge car enthusiast here in Arizona who loves sharing his collection with the car community. In this video, we'll take you on an exclusive tour of his incredible car collection featuring everything from iconic JDM legends to classic muscle cars, and even his very first car from high school. Jake shares the stories behind these amazing vehicles, how he acquired them, and why they're so special to him. I'm Dylan with Highline Autos, and I hope you enjoy our exclusive interview with Jake. We're here at this amazing collection out here in Arizona. I'm standing here with Jake of JJohnsonCollectibles. He's going to be taking us on a tour of his collection, his warehouse space. We're going to be diving into some of these stories on these cars he has, the ones he's acquired over the years, why he's acquired them, why he's into them, a little bit of that. Also get some insight on him for people like you out there looking to have a collection like this in the future. All right, let's dive into it, Jake.
Thank you. No, thanks for having me.
Where do you think's a good place to start? I'm pretty sure this Mustang up here.
It was my green Mustang, yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about it.
From high school, and I got that when I graduated high school. And it was my daily driver for, 91 until probably 2005, actually.
Oh, wow.
So a long time. Yeah,
not, I guess, super recent, but kind of recent.
Yeah, yeah. And so we just recently restored that car, and it's got 174,000 miles on it, but I never aggressively modified it, so it drives great.
Yeah, it's probably why it's in the shape it's in right now. It hasn't been modified.
Well, I would have never thought. So, like, getting a car where you're, like, I was 18 years old at the time, and now my son is 23, and he drives a car around. So.
Oh, wow, there you go.
So that car is kind of ironic that it's next to the 300ZX. So that I got that from a single owner. And the reason I say that is because I would go to street races in San Fernando Valley because I grew up in Los Angeles. Yeah. And so, like, the street race scene was a big thing. So I'd go down there, and I would just get my, handed to me with these 300ZXs. I didn't know much about turbo technology in the early 90s. It was kind of a new thing. Yeah. So, like, I told myself one day I'll have a 300ZX twin turbo, and that's what that is. So it has... Awesome. That one has about 130,000 miles. The single owner, but it's a GTZ still in body kit on it. Okay. And that one, we did a lot of restoration on it. We totally removed the inside out, rewired it, touched up the outside, and drives great. It's modified, about 420 of the wheel. That's a lot for a 300ZX.
Definitely, so especially back in the day, too. Oh, yeah. And I was going to say, it's like super period correct, the body kit. Then
very much so. BBS wheels on it. It's just a cool car, for sure. And it goes.
Definitely. Yeah, especially for the time, I'm sure it did.
So that's probably awesome. Like following along the timelines, over here is my E60 M5. So E60 M5 and
go way over there.
I wanted to have a car where it had some performance to it. I got 4 doors, so I can take the family. And there it is. It's just been a great car. It's about 50,000 miles. I got it in great shape, coming out of a lease in 2010. And it's gone through the regular procedures that those cars go through, with rod bearings have just been replaced on it. So so I've done all the right things with it. If you buy a car like that, you got to know how to take care of a car like that.
Definitely,
it has its needs, if you will.
Exactly, definitely.
And so there's 2 cars. Then heading in, a lot of this I acquired like 2019 forward.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like
COVID time.
COVID, like with a lot of people, like figuring out what to do with their life. So So the new Mustangs came out. The new Mustang body style came out, and I really thought it was just a cool looking car.
Definitely.
Because I did not have these other like Cobra Rs, which I'll get to. Yeah. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get myself another Mustang. Yeah. And so I put that order in it. That's a 2020 GT500 golden ticket. So it was the track pack version. Huh. And that took a while to get for a lot of people that ordered GT500s in 2020. It took some time. So while that was taking time, I went ahead and I started. I wanted to get like the R34 Skyline was like, I really wanted that car, but it wasn't available. Right? Yeah. And so I found this R33 Skyline, which I've taken to shows.
Awesome looking car, yeah.
And it was. So this is my first venture into like a Skyline, if you will. So, and I have 4 now, but this one I bought out of Japan, and went through the whole process of like praying that the car
The
would
car
come
actually
to me.
comes, yeah, in one
Right,
piece,
in one
and it
piece.
works.
And it did. Like,
Oh, nice.
It really was. The car mechanically was great, but I've done a lot to it since then. So we did a restoration again on the inside, and on the outside, refurbished the wheels. You know, those raised wheels are awesome.
Definitely.
And then
Hard to find, too.
They are hard to
Yeah.
find. And so the other thing that I did on this that was awesome is there's a guy in Long Beach, Akihiro Fushigami is his name.
Okay.
So Aki goes by Aki, and he really knows these cars.
Yeah.
And so I take this car out for the summers to San Clemente Car and Coffee, if you're familiar with that.
Yep, hometown right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
And so I knew he was in Long Beach. I reached out to him, and he tuned this car, and it's dialed in. Really is in great shape, and it's nice to have somebody that knows the RB,
Platform.
platform. So that was pretty cool. So I've got that project going on. My GT500 finally arrives, and it's a great car. You know, it's way up top right now, but I have modified it just a little. So no cats on it, different pulley for the supercharger, and then a bigger air intake. So
Okay.
that's about 820 to the wheels, and it's
Wow.
loud and nasty.
Won't be taking that one out to California then.
No.
Exactly.
Well, as a matter of fact, a short story, since you're in San
Yep.
Clemente, so I have a place in Dana Point, and I got
Okay.
this delivered, drove it up PCH, got through Laguna Beach, immediately got a ticket for
Oh
noise.
no.
Because this one's loud as
Did they
well.
just get you for noise, or
Yeah,
did they
that
try
was
to
it.
state ref you and everything?
No,
Okay.
they wanted
That's
me
good.
to change it all out, but that didn't happen.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
paid
You-
the fine. It was kind of ridiculous.
Come
So-
back to Arizona where that's not a thing.
Yeah, right. So now I'm like, I love the car, and now I'm deciding, I still want to get an R34, but R32s are available.
Yep.
So I find a broker in Europe, Jap Autos, and I get this R32. And so I put this thing on, or I ordered it. The thing's just a great car. Again, we did a full resto on the inside. All the interior of that car's been out, kind of full rewiring, cleanup, and then new front lip, and restored the headlights, new intercooler, and just the whole thing. This car is a lot of fun. Like, this is the true Godzilla.
Yeah.
When it came out, and there's a good reason for that. So it actually has an R34 RB26 in there, slightly modified, about 420 to the wheel, but just a super fun car, very clean. I have no complaints on this car. It's just fun to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did it look like this with all these aero pieces and the carbon intercooler
Yeah,
when you
I
got it,
added
or
this
did you
aero
add these
piece,
things?
Yeah, from the top secret aero piece, and
Yep.
then but it had these wheels which are super cool. They're these like British Racing Green Rays wheels on them. It just was a cool look on this paint. This is actually the stock color, black pearl metallic,
Awesome.
and then the yellow roll cage in there was just kind of a cool thing going
Yeah,
on.
contrast color right
Yep.
there.
And I actually found the former owner in Japan and took pictures and showed it to him. and
Oh,
it
no
was-
way.
Yeah, yeah.
So was he an original owner? So you're an original owner in the States. He was in
Yeah,
Japan?
yep,
Okay.
yep,
Nice.
yep. And he had really done some cool things with the car. So it had no seats in it, and instead of putting seats in it, I did the Active Garage full carbon fiber rear seat delete.
Yeah.
It's really a cool look.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We're at to sneak up there and try to get a shot of that or something.
Yeah.
There we
So I
go.
got this going on, and when I did that, I finally placed the order for my R34, which is, of course, up on a rack right now.
Yep.
So I just recently received it because it recently became legal. It's in 1999.
So is it stored there for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and when you can see underneath it, I mean, so they did a full chassis refresh on this car, and so everything was taken out. They cleaned up everything. This was done at SR Auto Bodies in Europe.
Wow.
They do a really good job, and so my plan at SR is to one day have them give me a Hakasuka Skyline, so have them completely restore it. So 'cause
Wow.
Otherwise, I'd be too scared about where the rust exists on those cars. So if
Yeah.
you're familiar with them, it's just hard not to find rust.
Yep.
So.
I was about to say, that's maybe the only one you don't have in your collection right now.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, that and a Ken Murray.
And a Kim Murray, that's what I'm thinking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this one, I haven't driven it much, but the turbos were giving me problems, starting to smoke. The car actually drives fine, but we're going to put new turbos in it. So
Okay.
that's why it's up on the rack. But again, just like my other cars, when we did get it, This one really didn't need much because it was in great shape, so it was just more of a paint correction and then a full clear bronze. So the whole car has been clear bronze. So just to protect that paint. They've only made 44 V-Spec in yellow, so it's a very rare car.
Yeah.
It's the rarest of all the colors. And so that was kind of cool, and I just wanted to make sure it looked good and bought new headlights for it. Put a lot of Nismo parts in the front, so it's just a cool, nice, slightly modified
OEM plus.
very OEM plus car. Yeah. So
Awesome.
yeah. So this one finally came, but while that was on order,
Yep.
I always wanted to get because of my green Mustang. I always wanted to get the Cobra R.
Yeah.
So the '93 Cobra R is like the unicorn Mustang of cars.
Yeah.
And so they originally made only 100 of those, and then because Ford was sued by dealerships because they were kind of oversold, they made 7 more what they call lawsuit cars. And this is, I believe, number 69 of 100.
Wow.
And it was never modified and was just driven probably to collector shows because there's only 2,200 miles on that car.
Oh, wow.
So super clean. In fact, it still I have 2 sets of Cobra R wheels, and the other set actually has the original tires on it. So,
Wow. Wow.
so that's a rare, expensive car for
Definitely.
me. And I always wanted one. Like when I had my green Mustang, I was saying one day, I'd love to get that car, but it was just too expensive, which at the time was like $44,000 or something.
Yeah.
Now it's a very expensive car.
Yeah, now I'm sure it's got a number in front of that.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So something like this, do you meet another collector that has a cool collection like you, or do you get these through auctions? Or?
So this one was from Colin Comer, who's
Okay.
a well-known collector for a Shelby historian, actually. And he was one of the guys on stage when they introduced the Mustang GTD with the president of Ford.
Oh, wow.
So Colin knows some people.
Yep.
So he's a great Mustang guy, a super cool guy, and I just got this opportunity to buy this. So
Wow,
yeah,
you
that was very
hopped on it.
Yeah.
Super cool. So then did you go to the 2000 or the 95?
Actually, I went to the 2000 next because it's just a cool car.
Yeah.
The 95
Awesome.
R you have to get to complete the set, and it's kind of cool to see it from the side, But the 2000 R I found in Michigan,
Yep.
and 1,700 miles, not modified, just a very well taken care of car. We only had to do a couple things to it, but just regular maintenance things.
Yeah.
But the car drives great. If you've seen these cars, I mean, they're super cool. You can play them on video games, and so
Exactly.
everybody knows the car.
Yep.
And then because I had that, the only one left is the 95R, so that's what I did. That was the
There you
next
go.
one. So the 95R actually was here in Arizona. Great shape, 1,600 miles on that, I want to say. So very low mileage on all of them. Good condition. I will drive them. I've driven all of these to Highline Auto Show.
There we go.
So I do get them out. They need, cars are meant to be driven. They have to be.
Yep.
Because it gets real bad. What I've learned about these cars with new gas and all the additives, it's pretty tough on them.
Yeah.
So I get them out and drive them.
There we
So
go.
anyway,
Get the legs stretched.
yeah. So that was my kind of venture in just finishing off this set, if you will.
Yeah.
Of the Cobra Rs.
There you go.
And so when I was driving my GT500, and Randy Kopel, some
Yep.
people know him, like I go to the car shows with him. He says, "Hey, you got to drive my GT350R. You're gonna love it." So, like, yeah, well, I mean, the GT500's like, that came out after. So I drove his GT350R. I'm like, all right, I got to get one of these.
Yeah. need the stick shift.
Yeah. So it was in 2020, which is the last year for in this body style GT350R. So they had just came out with the Heritage Edition, and like, okay, well, that's the one I got to get.
Yep.
It's the Wimbledon white. It has it just works well on the black carbon fiber wheels. And so I found that one in California, brand new, shipped it out, and so I drive around about 800 miles on it, or something.
Nice.
Not too many. So that's occurring, and I love my other GT500. And then, of course, they come out with the Heritage Edition GT500, which really goes with that. And for no other reason than the fact that I figured I needed to have the two, I bought the one up top. So
There you go.
so another GT500, only probably 110 miles on it. I mean, I don't
Wow.
drive it much. It's just really meant to be as a collection for those two.
Wow. And what color is that one in?
That is called Brittany Blue.
Brittany. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so it's
Wow.
kind of homage to the old GT500,
Yeah.
and so yeah, it's a very nice looking car. Unfortunately, I got it up top, but it goes. These two kind of go together. I think they should go together.
I agree.
So
I agree.
yeah.
They're kind of opposite specs
Yeah.
as well.
Exactly.
Blue stripes
Yeah,
white,
yeah.
white stripes blue.
Right,
There you
right.
go.
So I can't. While I'm over here, I can't pass up the Mark IV. So the Supra is just an awesome car. If you've driven one, they're super fun.
Yeah.
And so that one is a 1994 manual Targa top. It's kind of
Oh,
the one
nice.
that you want, you
Yep.
know. And
Left-hand drive.
left-hand
Right.
drive. Sorry,
Left-hand?
left-hand
Yep.
drive. Yeah, yeah. It's got all. It checks
Wow,
all
there
the
you
boxes,
go,
if
yeah.
you will.
Yep.
Yeah. And so that one, 50,000 miles on it.
Wow.
Not too many miles. It's fun to drive, and like the rest, gutted the interior. You know, cleaned up any wiring, reupholstered it, and
Oh,
then
nice.
even the headlights, like the Series 2 headlights, are cooler headlights for the Supra, but that's not what goes with that car. So
Yeah.
I found new ones. It just took a while,
Yeah.
and put those in, and did a full paint correction on it as well. And that car's super fun to drive.
Yeah.
Very clean on the inside. Just a few mods on it. It's about 400 to the wheel, something like that. But
Wow.
it drives great.
Yeah, more than enough at that time. Yeah.
Which reminds me, when I did the 300ZX, we reupholstered that one as well. So
Okay.
just it's kind of this fun project that I've got with my guys, and we do it all here. You know, now that we have these, I was doing a lot of this stuff before I had this warehouse,
Yep.
which was next. I had my warehouse next door. So now with the rotary lifts, man, it's it's
You're
a
good
lot
to go.
easier.
So you have a smaller team that works on these cars
Yep,
for you?
Kyle Franco and Luca Traverso.
Okay.
And so Luca's dad, Ferrari mechanic up in Deer Valley
Yep.
Air Park, and so Luca's just great. Yeah, he does a great job
Awesome.
for sure. He's not here today. He normally would be. He's working on stuff for me or other people.
Yep.
But yeah, that's that.
Cool.
So while all this is going on, like I don't know what was getting into me, but then now I've got the 32, the 33,
Yep.
and the 34, and quite frankly, I always wanted of all of them. I really did want a Nissan GT-R. I just never had one.
Yep.
And so it was getting to where they were going to be finishing off the R35 platform, and they came out with a Nismo Special Edition.
Yep.
And so I found one in Cerritos, in California, and I bought it brand new off the floor. They only made, and it's a 2021 and a half Nismo Special Edition. So they made 300 and they sold 13 in the U.S. So there's only 9 of these.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 13. This is number 9.
Okay.
And super cool car. It's a very familiar car for everybody. It hasn't changed much over the years, but this one with the gray and the carbon fiber, it just made it more unique look than what you normally see out of them.
Definitely. And the fact that I guess they didn't sell as many as they were supposed to, it's going to
They
be
did.
rare down
Yeah,
the line.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then subsequently Nissan, maybe through troubles they were having, made 2 more years of these things. They
Yeah.
didn't call them special editions, but
They're
basically
a T or
Nismo-
something,
Nismo,
right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Well, they have the T specs.
Okay.
And then they have the Nismo versions.
Yep.
So there's a bit both.
They're
of those.
they're separate. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So that was cool. So I'm kind of going around, and I've got this JDM theme going. And Randy Copel reaches out to me and he says, "Hey, Adams from Adams Polishes, he's got a NSX, and I think he'll sell it." And I wanted an NSX.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I had made all these comments to Randy, and he's like chronicling this in his head, trying to find me these cars. So I got this NSX. This one hadn't been modified. It's a 2005, which are super rare to find.
Yeah.
And it was actually the kind of demo car for Acura when they were showing the new NSXs.
Oh wow.
So this one was never sold in a dealership. It was given to the head of Acura, and then sold to a gentleman, and it got down to Adam, and he sold it to me.
Wow.
So this one, if you go to there's a Jay Leno's Garage review of the new Acura NSX, and this car is in there, but they don't talk about it. They're just saying, here's the old one, here's the new one.
That's cool. A little screen time.
Yeah, so it had screen time, and
Nice.
then it does have, like, if you look up Road and Track reviews on NA2 NSX, all the reviews of this platform are actually this car.
Oh
So,
wow.
yeah,
That's
if
super
you see
cool.
it and it's gray, it's that one.
Wow.
So,
And you prefer the non-pop-ups over the pop-ups?
I do
Everyone, I feel
myself.
like that's the big debate.
I mean, I like them both, really.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, I would like to get another NSX and modify it the way you're supposed to modify these things.
There you go.
I mean, this one I don't want to. I mean, I'd hate to modify this. It's
Yeah.
so there's stories to it, and it's so rare in the 2005. But I suppose if I really had my way, I'd want to get a. So this is NA2, so I would want to get a 2000 like NA2 NSX R. That would be like what I would really want. Those are kind of expensive. So
Yeah, and those are
I just have to look
very
out
hard to find. There you
They're
go.
hard to
Yeah.
find, yeah.
Apparently
You
you
can
know
find
some
them.
people.
I know people that can find them.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, that's why I won't ask them, because I might buy one.
Yeah, there you go.
So my this is actually my parents, my father's. He passed away, but he when he retired, he bought this Mercedes, and then he always had 2 houses, and so he didn't drive it much. So the car's got 18,000 miles on it. It's a '98 SL500. Super cool car.
Yeah.
Like, super fun to drive, low mileage. Like I usually take that to California with me with one of these other cars and go around. It comes with the hard top that's over there. So super, just a nice car. So
Yeah. Nice cruiser. Especially for California, drop the top and you're by the beach. There you go.
Exactly. So I had kind of all this theme going on, and so Jordan, and I can never pronounce his last name. Everybody knows Jordan. He's got all the black cars. So his warehouse is across the street.
Yeah.
And so he has the HKS T002 demo car. Mm-hmm. And so we were talking. He calls me up the next day and says, "Look, there's another demo car, and it's not black, so you need to buy it." And I'm like, why don't, explain that to me. So he said, well, it's the GReddy RX demo car, and just call my buddy Danny in Miami at RMC, and he'll explain it to you. And so I was I happened to be I was going on a cruise out of Miami, so I take my wife over to this dealership, and I say, show me this GReddy car you're talking about. And so that's what this is, and I have not taken it out yet I took it to one show in Dallas and won some awards, but this has been a fully restored project. This took us a year to do, but it's just a one of one, and it's called the GReddy RX S-Roc demo car. And so it's this car when I get it out to the next show, you'll get to see it. But you can see under the hood here. But it's 1,000 horsepower, T88 GReddy turbo. So the whole story behind this car is they took the car, bought it in '95. It's a white R33 V-Spec, completely stripped it, and then reinforced it, for high speed. And so they then took everything from their catalog back in the 90s and put it on this car. And the objective was 2 things. One is to do the Yatabe runs up to 200 miles an hour as fast as you could. And the second was to make it a cool show car. So they wanted it to be show and speedy. So that's what they did. And so you see this car. It's complete, like stuck in the 90s. It's got yellow interior, chrome engine, bowling ball blue. But the car, we did a lot to it, really. We put a new gearbox in it. It's a sequential gearbox, which is super cool. Yeah. I had my buddy Aki from Long Beach come out and tune it with a new Link ECU. And we restored the wheels. We did paint correction. This is the original paint, so we didn't repaint it or anything. Touch-ups on the bumper, what have you, but reupholstered it, and everything. The engine was out, everything. This thing is cleaner even than that yellow R34 underneath. It's just spotless. It's almost like, I don't know where to drive it, where I'm going to get dust on. It's kind of silly, but it's a brand new car, basically.
Yeah.
It drives great. It's going to get alignment this Friday, and then it'll be out on the road.
Ready to go.
So, yeah, this thing is super fun.
Yeah, it looks right out of the Options video game back in the day.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Super cool.
Yeah. So we, again, here, we stripped out the interior, reupholstered it, but we also, the wiring, getting that new engine harness with the Link ECU to make it safe, because it's a high horsepower, and the boost doesn't kick in until about 6,400 or something.
Oh,
so
wow.
You got to hold on.
Yeah, and it revs up to like 9.
It revs up to about 9. The tachometer in there goes to 10,000.
Oh, wow.
Before it redlines. We didn't want to push that. It was getting plenty of boost, after that. So we've got a safety measure on it at like 9,500. I want to say.
Okay.
So
Wow.
I think it can go higher.
Yeah,
but we're
I
not gonna
think
try
so.
It.
Think
It's
so.
plenty crazy.
So it's around that 1,000 horsepower number.
Oh
then.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's
Wow.
got 4 boost settings. To the wheel, it's about 750, 770, 60, something
Okay.
like that. So yeah,
And
super
it's-
cool car.
And it's single turbo now. It was twin at one point.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So recently in Japan, the manifold for the high mount twin turbo configuration came available.
Oh.
It's actually called the S-Roc twin turbo manifold. So I bought it, and it's actually being shipped out here as we're speaking right now. And so I'm going to go through the slow journey of making it a twin turbo.
Okay.
Again,
Wow,
just
there
like
you
in
go.
the original platform that it was. So because they still make the turbos, the harder part of it will be the inlets into the intercooler, if you will. So, but it's just a cool look. There's a guy, BCNR 32. I'm trying to remember his handle on Instagram, but there's a guy that's got a cool R32 replica of the demo car for when they did the R32 version, and he's been a good resource for me. But I've also spoken with Kenji at GReddy in Irvine, and he's been a big help. This was his original car he worked on, so there's a lot of history to this car.
I feel like I've seen that online. He went over to Japan and worked on this, right? Initially.
Yeah, when they were doing the Yatabe speeds, he was there and getting this car set up. So
wow.
Yeah, just a super cool story to this car.
Yeah, that's a cool full circle moment right there, especially for him.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And so that's kind of been my journey so far. I do have, I'm going down the path of the Mustang GTD, which would be a fun thing to do. We'll see how that goes. And then I have an RX-7 coming. So I was talking to you before we started here, but the Veilside Fortune RX-7 99, so it's a right-hand drive. I think it kind of belongs as a right-hand drive if you're going to have the Veilside kit on it.
Agree. Agreed.
So, and that one, the cool part about that one, and I verified with Veilside, that was actually the kit, the interior, the exterior, everything was done at Veilside, which is kind of a cool story,
Wow.
So surely when it gets here, we'll probably take the whole thing apart and put it back together.
There you go.
But that's just what we do.
Exactly. It seems like that's what you guys do here.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. I have a good team to help me, and they are the ones that do it. I get involved in just how deep I want to go down the rabbit hole.
Yep.
But my OCD level just requires that these cars drive like my Mustang. It kind of all originates back to my Mustang, where I always took care of it, and I realized a car can be old and very reliable if you take care of it and do the right things. You just got to spend the money.
Definitely.
So
that's words of wisdom right there.
You got to know that if you're going to buy a car like this, or pretty much any of these cars, there's just a certain amount of cost involved in taking care of them. And if you don't want to do that, that would be my first bit of advice: is just wait until you've got the reserve, if you will, to take care of it right, because they all have their issues that will come up.
Definitely.
My 300ZX, pulled that out one day and it's leaking gas. It wasn't a big deal. It was just the fuel line was rotted, so we had to replace it. My R33, the black matte one, great car. I love that car, but it was like hesitating at a high RPM. We realized the cam angle disc sensor just needed adjustment. But these little things, if you don't know how to take care of that stuff or have somebody to help you, you'll sit there with all this money in something and you can't move it.
Yeah, exactly. It comes down to that too. You've got to have the money and also know people that work on these, like Kenji, other people that that have helped get you to here.
The car community is a great community. There's the show that you guys do, just meeting people, getting together, and if you ask the questions and show some humility and the fact that I don't know everything about all these cars, and ask the questions of the people, they'll share with you the information and help you along your journey. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So there you go. That's where I'm at so far with my cars.
There we go. Yeah, I'm sure next time we stop by, you'll have a couple more.
Well, that RX-7 will be a fun one.
There we go.
That's just a rare one to see.
Definitely. So, yeah, I was gonna say maybe you've seen one in the States. If that.
Maybe. Yeah.
And that's probably at SEMA.
Probably. Yeah. That's cool. But I'll have this one at the next Highline show if I'm in town for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. Can't wait to see it rolling on the streets.
Yeah. Well. So there you go. This warehouse has been fun. I've got my office is kind of based out of the warehouse next door. So when I'm in between conference calls, I'll come over here, just
hang out,
look, and then head back and go back to work.
There you go. Yeah. Not a bad lunch break spot.
No, it's not. It's
There you
not.
go.
Yeah, it's fun. Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I guess a couple questions for you then. If so, I guess there's definitely a lot of people out there, younger guys, girls, looking to get a collection, something like this in their future. Any words of wisdom to them to get them to this point down the line?
So I'll go back to my 91 Mustang. So I took that car from brand new to where it is today, and I was always committed to putting the money into it to keep it in good shape, and that was the inside and the outside. So it starts with taking care of your car first, what you have, and knowing that when something needs to be done, that you're doing that. And so if you're in that habit of doing it, then you know what that cost is associated with the next car you get, right? And so, but the big thing, quite frankly, is like, I did not, as I mentioned, I really didn't get into these cars until 2019. And that was because from a savings discipline and financial discipline of first putting money into places that I needed to for retirement and investing in real estate and what have you. So I got to a point where I had some extra, and so I bought some cars. I bought a few cars actually. But there's, somebody asked me recently, like, do you consider cars a good investment? I mean, it depends on what investment means to you. Like, if investment in like what you enjoy and spending your time with on your free time, yes, it's a great investment. As it relates to buying them to make money, there's better place. The best place is investing in yourself. To me, I've chosen like real estate, but finding the thing that you're passionate about and investing in that first, because the compounded growth in investing in yourself and like businesses or real estate is far going to exceed investing in cars. It just is.
Yeah.
So I always have been very careful throughout my whole career and just and buying things because I'm also a collector of baseball cards.
Okay.
So I did that, but I only did it after I had a little money to do it, and I only did this after I had money to do it. So, and I was careful to buy cars that I knew would maintain value, and I knew that I would put the time in, just like with my Mustangs, so that they would maybe even grow in value.
There you go.
But yeah, I think to buy new cars, you'd want to be very careful. That Mustang GTD would be a nice new car to own. I would assume that would maintain its value. But a lot of, these are a lot of used cars outside of my green Mustang.
Yeah.
Actually. So, yeah, I really enjoy it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I guess you got an amazing collection here already. What's some stuff besides the Vail side that you're maybe wanting to get in the collection down the line?
Yeah, well, like I said, I think I would trade up for an NSXR sometime in the future. I think that I may even see it as a fun project to get like a baseline R32 now that we really understand how to restore these cars and really modify that.
Yeah.
Make something crazy. But I mean, this is about as crazy as it gets right here. So
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, you mentioned Jordan earlier. We're going to have to get some photos of those two cars, the HKS and this next to each other.
We'll have to coordinate that because that would be fun to have both those together. These cars haven't been together outside of in Dallas in November. Before that, since the 90s.
Wow.
And they both raced together at Yatabe. It was, quite a
So is this one faster than that one now?
No, his was faster.
Oh, okay.
So for Jordan listening, I give you cred. His car was faster.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. It's some of that. I think his was one of the fastest in those runs.
Oh, wow.
It was singly built for speed, while this one was kind of speed and be a show car, if you will.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up, Jake.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
It's been a great time. Amazing collection of cars here. Definitely go follow Jake on social media. It's JJohnsonCollectibles. Gives you all the updates on his collection, on this beautiful GReddy right here. Thank you for having us out.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Always. When I get the next car, we'll come on. I'll show you, or I'll be at the next Highline show.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll see you at the next Highline show.
You got it.
Thank you. Yeah. Highline Autos, Cars and Coffee, first Saturday of every month. And here in Phoenix, Arizona at High Street, Desert Ridge. Come check us out. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.